Welcome back to Show Your Real Estate Today. It's Paul Jameson, your host. Jameson Realty with Keller Williams, Jameson Property Management, Jameson Property Investments. I am here with Preston Sandlin from Home Inspection Carolina. We are pre-recorded today, so unfortunately we did not have the ability for you to call in, but we're happy that you're here. So Thank you so much for that, and we look forward to sharing time together. All right, so let's continue a couple more of these tips, Preston, and then I will circle back on the rental tips closer to the end of the segment.
Okay. We're all about the tips.
What
today.
are some of the ones that you had picked out about like using your microwave instead of your stove?
Yeah, you know, microwave is much more efficient using electricity. A stove, you know, basically if you think about it, just like the incandescent bulb, if it's giving off a lot of heat, that's a lot of energy, and the energy that you're paying for. And not to mention, when you cook this time of year, on top of that, you're fighting your air conditioner.
That's true.
I know, and I was going to tell my wife, I told my wife this argument, and it was a mistake, because she's like, that's all the more reason we need to go out to eat. But I was like, I know, but I had to make sure she doesn't listen. Can you cut that segment out? But anyway, no, a microwave is much more efficient as far as energy use. If you can microwave your food instead of turning on the oven or stove. And I'm a foodie. I love, but you know, if you're just eating lunch by yourself, just microwave it. Don't turn on the stove if you can help it.
Yeah, well, like you say, you know, just in the wintertime it's much more efficient, but summertime it's not.
Yep. And I would say number 9 down there, you know, always use natural light when possible. You know, you got natural light, open those curtains up. You know, it just saves a lot of money. And I know on the real estate side too, as far as listings and showings, you guys want to see a lot of natural light. I think it just makes you feel better, but it makes the room more open, more airy, and you're not using electricity, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And in the wintertime, you're actually helping heat. That light actually heats the house a little bit as well.
Yeah, I like that. All right. Here was one I found interesting. Don't leave the bathroom or kitchen ventilation fans running longer than necessary. They replace inside air with outside air.
Yes. Yeah, you're expelling whatever conditioned air that you have in the bathroom, because it's code that it goes outside or goes up to the vent in your attic. Now, obviously, you want to turn on the bath vent when you're showering, using, you know, because you don't want that moisture. You want to get rid of the moisture.
Yes.
Because that leads to mold and mildew and, well.
It's hard sometimes to figure out when it's finally out of there.
Yeah.
Because they say a lot of times that you do need to leave it on longer for, you know, the potential mold or mildew possibilities that exist as that steam rises.
Yeah.
But if you're taking a cold shower, it doesn't really
that's
matter.
right. You're saving energy there on both sides, and cooling the house. But if you leave it on, you know, I would say past 5 minutes after you take a shower, then you're just removing conditioned air from your house. And if you're expelling conditioned air, and I mean that by air that's either been heated or cooled, depending on the season, then you're creating a suction, and it's going to pull in outside air from around your windows, doors, and that sort of thing. So now whatever your system is going to have to work hard to condition this new air. So, yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. You don't want to run the bath vent fan, I would say, more than 5-6 minutes after you finished with the shower, or, you know, whatever you were doing that caused steam or moisture.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Hot tub.
All right. So, interested in your perspective on this, Preston.
Okay.
Smart technology like the Nest.
Yeah.
Is there proven efficiencies? That's a pretty smart thermostat. And
I love it.
Do you think, and this isn't on your list, I don't think, that some of this smart technology can actually save money? Is that a true fact?
Yes, I love it. We have the Honeywell ones, but I'm a big fan of the Nest. And what Paul's talking about is thermostats that are Wi-Fi. So basically, Paul can control, and I could do it, so I don't know how my wife does it, but, you know, you can say, I want it to be cooler when I get home, so he can turn the air up right now. We did it when we were at the beach. you know, and she said, you know, we're about halfway back. She's like, let's turn the air up so that it won't be, you know, hot when I get there. So I'm a big fan of controlling it. You got to be careful though. Certain things like on a daily basis, it costs more.
Jockeying it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because. Let me say, like you got a heat pump. Okay, a heat pump is basically like an air conditioner that works in reverse, but it also has these heat strips on it. And a heat pump is designed, if you're within 2 or 3 degrees of your target temperature, it runs pretty efficiently. But if it drops below that, the heat strips have to kick on, which is basically like turning on a stove. That's expensive. So let's say you had a heat pump.
That's that emergency.
Yeah, exactly. And if you, let's say it was winter and you had a heat pump, and every day you think, oh, I'm going to turn it down while I'm at work, and then turn it up. And if you drop that thing more than 3 degrees, it's going to cost more just to get it back up to the target than it would be just to coast along at keeping it at the same temperature.
Right.
But if you're going to the beach for a week, absolutely turn it down, because you know you're not going to need to turn it up. But if you're doing it on a daily basis, be careful, because sometimes the energy required to get it back to where it was is going to be more than if you could have coasted it along. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. You know, the Simply Safe alarm system, we have that, and it correlates with your nest.
Mm-hmm.
So when you set the alarm, when you leave,
Right.
it lowers the temperature
Puts
2
it in a
degrees,
conservative.
or
Yeah,
raises
two.
it, depending
I
on
think
where
2
you
or
are.
3 is good. Yeah.
And then when you undo it, if you unarm it, it adjusts it back to where you are. So you can, like you did for Meg, you can turn off your alarm when you're 30 minutes away, and it will automatically adjust the temperature back to where it should be.
Right.
It's kind of a cool thing.
No, it's awesome. I'm all about the smart. And you know, a lot of the Lowe's and Home Depots now, and they have a whole smart section.
Yeah.
It's you know, I'm a geeky techie
I
guy.
love that
I
kind of
love
stuff.
that. I do too. I do
Yeah,
too.
I got a smart lock. That's
Dude,
pretty cool.
I want to control my whole house from my phone. And we're there. We're getting there. I'm
We're
telling you.
getting close.
We're getting close.
That's right. All right, so a couple more rental tips let's share. We talked about insurance. We talked about addendums. When you screen for tenants, and we touched on this a little bit more, a little bit earlier, they may make money. You got to look at the whole picture. They may make the money to qualify,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe they still can't afford it.
Hmm.
When I look at a rental application, if the person makes X dollars, but then that qualify, but then they have 3 cars, 5 credit cards to the max, and they're right on the bubble of all of this stuff.
They still got to buy groceries.
One hiccup, and who's not going to get paid?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, do you check past rental or references?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
FS, landlord, rental, eviction, we do it all
Okay.
nationally.
Okay.
They may also have bad credit, but it may not really be bad. Sometimes little $30, $40, $50 medical charges can pull somebody's credit
They
down
didn't
100 to 200 points.
And they didn't even know, because that happened to me.
So
We didn't
look
even
at
know it. Yeah.
Divorce does bad things to credit. You have to take that into account sometimes. But verify the story behind the evictions. I'm doing that today. We've got somebody that's got an eviction. They're telling us a story as to why. I'm trying to reach the landlord so I can verify it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if there's something vague in the application, verify it. That just ask questions. And here's another thing.
Okay.
If somebody is honest, upfront, at least spend the time with them to verify those things and be more considerate. If they hide it and say everything isn't okay and you have to do it by discovery, that makes a difference too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like flying. When I was instrument flying in the clouds, you trust your instruments, but you verify.
Trust
right?
but verify,
Trust
yeah.
but verify.
Yeah.
All the past landlord. All right, Preston, thanks for being with me today.
Hey, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
How
It's
can
a
people
good
get
time.
you?
704-542-6575 or homeinspectioncarolina.com.
And you can always call us at 846-DONE, 846-3663, or on the web at myjamesonhomes.com. God bless. We'll talk to you next week to show you real estate today. Take care.